It's 2013. You're obsessed with Harry Potter, Friends, and How I Met Your Mother. You want to wear that obsession on your sleeve, quite literally. But every time you search online, all you find are overpriced tees that cost 2,000 rupees and barely any decent options for official merch in India. Until one day, you stumble upon a scrappy new site called the Soul Store. A moat is what differentiates your startup from the competition. It's things about your business that cannot be copied. Maybe it's a supply chain advantage, a killer content engine, or a founder market obsession that's impossible to copy. Great startups don't just build products, they build moats. And we're here to break them down. Welcome to What's Your Moat, where we unpack what makes India's most breakout brands hard to replicate. Started by four 20-something college friends in 2013, Vedang Patel, Harsh Lal, Aditya Sharma, and Rohin Santani. The Soul Store was born out of a shared love for franchisees like Marvel, Star Wars, and Lord of the Rings. Bored of their corporate jobs, they each pitched around 170,000 rupees from their savings to start a business that turned their fandom into fashion. This business made 360 crores revenue last year. The company went from processing a few hundred t-shirt orders to handling over 15,000 orders every day, and now has more than 8 million registered users. They enjoy a repeat rate of 120% year on year, which means not only are their customers coming back, they're buying more than before, and happily. The return rate is just below 5% as compared to 25 to 40% of their competitors. But this isn't just a story of having a first mover advantage. It's about sustainable D2C economics, customer obsession, and turning niche demand into a full-blown D2C fashion apparel company. In today's episode, we break down the three moats that helped the Soul Store become India's most loved D2C apparel brand. Moat number 1, licensing. Back in 2013, if you wanted to wear official merch of your favorite TV show or movie, you had two choices. Either spend 2,000 rupees on overpriced imports or 200 rupees on cheap knockoffs. No one was making high-quality, affordable official merch for Indian fans. The Soul Store changed that. Not just with designs, but with exclusive licensing deals. From Marvel and Disney to Harry Potter, IPL teams, and even WWE, the Soul Store was among the first and in many cases still the only Indian apparel brand to sign official licensing deals for these global pop culture IPs. This licensing play gave them three major advantages. Number 1, distribution without discounts. After you watch a new Marvel movie, you don't search for graphic tee, you search for something like official Avengers t-shirt India. And thanks to licensing, the Soul Store shows up in your search results every time. This brings in high intent, low cost traffic that doesn't need flashy ads or big discounts. Fans don't churn after one order, they come back for every drop. This means more revenue per order, less marketing push, and better retention. Point number 2, low competition. The Indian apparel market is, well, cutthroat. You launch a cool oversized tee today, and you'll see its exact copy available on Amazon tomorrow. But you can't copy an official license, at least not at scale. The Soul Store has over 200 national and international licenses with exclusive rights for many major franchisees like Harry Potter, Star Wars, WWE, Liverpool, and several IPL teams. Sure, competitors like Bewakoof, Comic Sense, and Planet Superheroes have licenses too. But unlike competitors, the Soul Store customizes designs for Indian fans to create products that resonate locally. The sales often exceed the licenser's expectations, making the brand their go-to partner. Point number 3, built-in marketing. When Marvel drops a film or the IPL kicks off, the Soul Store gets free demand. In fact, till 2020, over 80% of their sales came from licensed merch. And that gave them something most brands struggle to build: discovery. Fans came in for Batman or Mumbai Indians, but stayed for the fit, fabric, and price. Slowly, their original products like joggers, boxers, graphic tees started selling too. Today, nearly 40% of revenue comes from non-licensed products. Hence, licensing served as a top-of-the-funnel engine. On paper, licensing sounds easy. It's just signing a deal and printing some merch. But in practice, it's far more complex with steep upfront costs, strict brand rules, and sky-high expectations. And most brands can't scale that. Moat number 2, D2C and omni-channel focus. In India, over 60% of online fashion sales happen on marketplaces like Myntra and Flipkart, making them the default starting point for most online shoppers. Most Indian D2C apparel brands fall into one trap, heavily relying on these marketplaces. But this shortcut comes at a huge cost. Literally, you give up margins, first-party data, and brand control. And worst of all, you have to spend more to reacquire the same customer over and over again. The Soul Store plays a different game. Since their launch in 2013, they focused on building their own channels instead of renting out customers from Amazon or Myntra. The Soul Store earns 64% of revenue from their own website and around 15% from marketplaces. For their biggest category competitor, Bewakoof, this is exactly the opposite. 15 to 30% of Bewakoof's revenue comes from website and about 70% from marketplaces. This ownership gives the Soul Store a serious CAC advantage. But CAC alone doesn't tell you everything. You also need to look at CLTV to CAC ratio. CLTV refers to customer lifetime value, which is the total revenue a customer is expected to generate throughout their relationship with the company. And CAC is the cost of acquiring one customer. So, CLTV to CAC ratio is the return you get from every rupee you spent acquiring a customer. The higher the ratio, the better the company's acquisition strategy and overall profitability. As of 2024, the Soul Store had a CLTV ratio of 2.5x. That means they're nearly profitable from the very first purchase itself. Also, they don't just stop at digital. More than 20% of their revenue now comes from offline stores. You can buy online, return in store, discover fandom drops on Instagram, and pick it up locally. This seamless experience boosts conversion, trust, and retention. As a result, the Soul Store's return on ad spend is about 4x compared to the sub 2x industry average. This, along with their tight control over the fit, designs, and logistics, have resulted in a return rate of under 5% for the brand. This is way below the industry average of 25 to 40%. So while most competitors rely on ads and discount-hungry customers, the Soul Store runs on own channels and loyal fans. In this cutthroat market, full control over the customer funnel might just be the biggest moat a brand can have. Moat number 3, brand experience. Most D2C brands in India think branding means slick packaging and a cool Instagram grid. But the Soul Store goes way beyond aesthetics. They build a full stack brand experience across product, delivery, stores, and community. It all starts online. The Soul Store site and app are designed for real community engagement. You get exclusive drops, a chance to vote on future designs, and member-only perks. You can buy their clothes online and return them in-store. You can earn loyalty points offline and use them online. Everything is seamless. And speaking of loyalty, the Soul Store's in-app loyalty program is one of the most active in Indian D2C. The Sold Out Squad gets early access to drops, private screenings, badges, and personalized recos. It's less of a rewards program, more of a digital fan club. And it works. The Soul Store reports a repeat rate of over 120%, which means customers aren't just coming back, they're buying more than before. Compare that to the industry average of 40 to 60%. Impressive, right? But the real magic is offline. The Soul Store has more than 40 stores across prime locations of major metro cities. With anime corners, Harry Potter zones, and IPL murals, these 10,000 square feet big stores look like a real-world fandom temple. This wholesome brand experience creates customer stickiness and retention that's impossible to replicate just with ads. Let's summarize. What makes the Soul Store hard to copy? Number 1, a deep D2C and omnichannel focus that keeps CAC low and ROAS high. Number 2, exclusive licensing deals with the world's biggest pop culture IPs. Number 3, seamless community-first brand experience across every customer touchpoint. But the game is changing. With quick commerce and AI reshaping fashion, the D2C world is getting faster, more impulsive, more algorithm-driven. To stay ahead, the Soul Store can't just rely on fandoms and drops. They need to innovate fast without losing their soul. Will they be successful, or will the next wave of D2C fashion startups take over?